Some of the most powerful cars in the country and some of the trickiest paths, with some of Ireland's and Belgium's top rally star Patrick Snires. It's a great recipe for a smashing time at the Triton Shire's Lurgan Park Rally. But Kenny McKinstry is going all out for his record 10th victory, and the entertainment value is already 10 out of 10. The peaceful setting of Lurgan's public park has played host to this unique event for 23 years, as one day a year the tranquility is shattered by thousands of spectators and squirrels witness this unique sporting event.
Hello and welcome from the Triton Shire's Lurgan Park Rally, a rally that gives spectators the chance to see the rally cars close up, and it also gives novices a chance to see what it's like from the inside. Claire McCollum is with us, the first time in a rally car. Are you looking forward to this?
I certainly am. I've just had a wee try out in the seat there and it's very, very comfortable, feel very secure, but I'm sure I'll be nervous at the start.
And you have a good driver with you?
Well, so they tell me, but he talks a lot.
He certainly does. Well, good luck and we'll see you at the end.
Thank you very much.
Claire will be sitting with Dickie Curran, whilst Pamela hitches a lift with the recovering Gary Jennings, who's driving today with a dislocated hip after a water skiing accident. 9 wins are no accident for the king of the park, who wants to wash away the memories of his elusive Manx attempt this year.
I just have to be careful with it because we don't want to damage this fairly slippy event here, as you well know, and there's lots of trees about, but you know, we're here to try and do a job, and that's what we're going to try and do.
Maurice Gass in his new S8 Subaru is just one of the contenders who is trying to outdo Kenny in this quality field. At Dennis Biggerstaff, Eugene Donnelly, who leads 2 national championships, and Trevor Moore. And it's a field that even includes World Championship driver Niall McShay, who's back home in a borrowed Group N Lancer. One man able to warm to the task will be 98 winner Patrick Snires in a Derek McGarty 99 Subaru.
How and why did I die?
Enjoy this rally?
Of course, it's good fun. It's short, but it's high-level competition, I think, and there are a lot of Subarus here and good drivers, so it will be very difficult to win, but that's why you're here for.
And the fans are certainly here to see if Patrick can claim his second part victory, as Willie McKee lets him off the leash on stage 1.
200 chicane, left entry, hairpin right, 10 metres.
The Business and Scientific Services Subaru rounds the first hairpin very quickly, and Patrick is on maximum concentration as he checks the dash readout for optimum revs. Through the car park, and now the going gets more slippery under the trees with damp roads from an early morning shower.
Top and 100 metres. And left 75 and 100 metres turn right 40.
Neatly hand-braking through this square right, Patrick and Willie are now out onto the very fast back section. This is where time can be made up or lost, as many a driver has come to grief here.
Right 3 and right.
And the Belgian is the first to try the daunting grass cuts. After the first 2 stages, however, he's in 3rd place, 2.6 seconds down. That's not 2.6 seconds down on Kenny McKinstry, as the Banbridge man finds himself in 2nd place, in spite of his usual fast start, being fastest on the opener. Also 2.6 seconds down on the lead after the first 2 tests is Eugene Donnelly, who has Barry Watt in the co-driver's seat. The Macarad driver confesses to being seriously cautious in the first tests, although he equals Kenny's time on stage 2.
Chicane, 3 left.
Far from cautious at the start is the flying Maurice Gass, who holds a 0.8 second lead after 2 stages. Seated behind Maurice, Ollie O'Donovan lies 9th in the older 555 Impreza. That's 2 places and just 0.3 seconds behind the event sponsor Kevin Barrett in the Triton Shires Subaru, who's having brake troubles. Braking traction is a rare sight in an Evo, but Niall McShay is demonstrating how one of these cars can be driven. The Derek Gonley man has had an amazing year on the world scene, including leading in Argentina, and he's adapting well to his borrowed car, lying just behind Raymond Johnson in the production class. No one should be more familiar with his car than Dennis Biggerstaff, who lies 4th in a car that he's campaigned for 16 years. Oh, it's a very unfamiliar route for Trevor Moore, however, on his first test, and he drops 9 seconds to Dennis. And despite committed driving like this, it's enough to drop him outside the top 10. Cornwall visitor Will Nichols is adapting well to the park, and he's also off the leaderboard. Glenallen lies 8th after 2 tests. Gary White is trying very hard here in his borrowed Escort, and despite almost overshooting here, he's in 10th place. Gary Jennings is trying hard in the little 106, which is experiencing gear selection problems. It's a painful drive for Gary after that water skiing accident 2 weeks ago. Still, he's giving our Pamela a rare run in a rare car.
Yeehaw, indeed. However, on his first trip around the park is Kevin Lynch with his sister Martina in the hot seat. Despite only starting rallying a year ago, the dog leap winner is about to start the tongues wagging on stage 1. He's really flinging the Subaru around this slippery test. As we approach the final chicane, this is going to be a very good time.
Into the chicane.
1 minute 31.4 seconds, that's just 0.2 slower than McKinstry. All it takes to put you out of the running in Lurgan Park is one spin, and here it is. Martina points the way back, but 6 seconds have been lost.
Go on ahead.
He's not alone, as fellow park novice Donny O'Sullivan misses this one. And another first-time visitor, Nigel Waswick, has teed off well. It's all smiles for Clare, and they're lying 3rd in Group N at this early stage, ahead of Richard Hogg and Mark Hanna debuting their newly acquired Evo 7.
Then we're going into a square. Should have tightened the square right. Shoot.
The surprise of Group N has been Raymond Johnson, leading after 2 stages, whilst Michael Curran's similar car is leading in entertainment. The rear-wheel drive brigade is led by Keith White's 2.4 Escort. Wesley Patterson's Pinto is well up, whilst Paul Barrett is nearly out. And Rodney White is nearly off the tarmac in the RH Payne car. Marty Taggart, Desi Keenan and Mervyn Wedlock are all at the end of the rack.
The crowds as always are out in big numbers for the Triton Shires Lurgan Park Rally to see the return of top contenders, and Patrick has been well spied on today, as is Eugene, just 0.4 seconds back. Starting stage 3, Patrick Snires is in a determined mood.
100.
This time the stage turns onto the loose and Patrick enters it in great style. It's a very tricky section here between the trees, especially when you're on tarmac tyres, but it's here that the time can be made up. Every second is crucial, and that bail was on Patrick's line. Coming into the car park, the effort is worth it, as Patrick is fastest in stage 4 and will move up a place into second after these tests.
300 metres. Long left, 1 continues over crest, 70.
That's at the expense of the rally leader Maurice Gass, whose co-driver Declan McKeown has bought his seat at a charity auction. 5 seconds were lost in stage 3 and 1 in stage 4, as the gear shift is causing problems in the Emo car.
The gear stick come off my hand, so I've done the third stage there with no gear stick at all, just a wee bit lump of steel. So they're trying to get it fixed there now, but to be honest, don't think I get it fixed. They're still working away at it here furiously, so see what happens.
Scattering the arrows in the process, Kenny has capitalised with 2 close second fastest times, moving him into the lead. Kenny's regular co-driver Noel Orr is on the notes, as the Donegal and Jim Clark winning car is assuming its usual leaderboard position.
Still a good few stages to go. Can you become king of the park again?
I mean, I'm still going to try. I mean, that's the whole object of the thing, but I suppose we're all making little mistakes, you know, and it's getting round there without making those mistakes as the person who's going to win it.
Eugene Donnelly is obviously very at home on the loose and sets fastest time on stage 3, moving into third place, just 1.4 seconds off the lead. Fellow Northern Ireland Championship rival Dennis Biggerstaff is just 0.4 behind in a super drive, equal fastest on stage 4, keeping the glorious 6R4 up with the latest World Rally cars.
Go on ahead.
Another man happy to see the loose is Kevin Lynch, as Martina guides him through the test. And he's proving to be one of the entertainers of the event, as his successful forest driving is transferring to the tarmac.
That's it. That's it, well done.
Off the tarmac has been the event sponsor, Kevin Barrett, who was in 12th place.
Kevin, a bit of contact with the local scenery?
Yeah, unfortunately, just at the end of the stage there, we just couldn't get stopped for the chicane, and we clipped it and it put us into the grass and into the trees, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
Glenn Allen is now in 7th and is just about to experience anti-lag problems. And Ollie O'Donovan is just lagging 4 seconds back. Gary White, who has borrowed Fintan McGrady's car after his massive Easter Stages crash, is about to have another nasty turn in his season. I'm afraid that this is one hire car that will not be taken straight back. Also using more of the road than expected is Trevor Moore, who has a very close shave with our curb camera. The Newton Abbey driver has now moved into 10th spot. Killarney's Donie O'Sullivan has Simon Mooney on the pace notes, and they're thoroughly enjoying the conditions in the park.
In Group N, Raymond Johnson was actually ahead of his Fermanagh compatriot after 2 tests. But this trip into the Bales has lost that advantage. His compatriot Niall McShay is now in superb form and really flinging the Lancer around to move into the Group N lead. Claire McCollum is still smiling in Dickie Curran's Lancer. Dickie's son Michael is next up. But now coming under pressure from Richard Hogg, who has really speeded up as the gravel sections come into play, as Mark Hanna encourages his driver. Pamela, it seems, can't wait for the loose.
And onto the loose.
Gary is now setting better stage times in the pocket rocket. but it's Keith White Escort which is fastest of the two-wheel drive cars. RS 2000 is next up, ahead of Marty Taggart's Mark II, as the two-wheel drive machines entertain the huge crowds. The Saxo Display team provide the interlude at the park as Paul Swift proves that nothing moves like a Citroen. Formidable.
Will be told whilst you and I are in the cold. But don't think this is the end, 'cause it's just begun, my friend. When it's done and all this is gone, just find the feeling, pass it on.
An impressive display, and Patrick Snires is about to put the wheels in motion on stage 5 as the stage now starts at the very fast back section, and Patrick is using all of the road. Very soon though, the BSS Subaru requires more than just the road. It's a very costly mistake as he drops 13 seconds to Kenny, and I'm afraid that second victory will have to wait as it demotes him to 4th. Thankfully, it hasn't dampened his style though.
Right 6, left 4, 70, right 6,
With 2 stages to go, he's 6 seconds off regaining a place on the podium. Starting the stage, Kenny doesn't know of his nearest rival's problems and sets the benchmark time of 2 minutes 4.1 and extends his lead to 3.3 seconds on the next test. Eugene will move into second, but despite his best efforts in the 98 car, he can only get within 0.8 seconds of Kenny. Just enjoy the ride on the bumper of the EnviroCare Subaru. The pressure behind him, however, is about to be taken off as Dennis Bickerstaff's choice of slicks drops him 6 seconds on these tests, but Maurice Gass drops out in spectacular fashion. In 5th place, he was just 4 seconds off the lead, but the scars on the S8 Subaru show that the penalties for trying too hard in the park are severe. You can leave the park with big prizes or big penalties, and Morris is not the first to leave Lurgan Park with a very big bill. And he's in good company with McKinstry, Nesbitt, McGarrity and Cullen all experiencing the terrible trees.
To be honest, we're having to go there, we're 4 seconds off Kenny, and we're having to cut at it like, and just stepped out on us there, and we didn't get it up in time.
It's a low note for Morris's season, as Glenn Allen inherits 5th place, battling with a familiar escort of Trevor Moore, just 7 seconds back. Behind him, Niall McShay is asserting his authority, now 15 seconds ahead, as Raymond Johnson looks closely at Gass's tree. Richard Hogg and Mark Hanna are looking ever more committed as they climb into 2nd place in Group N. Keith White is firmly in 1st place in the two-wheel drive race, and he finishes a spectacular 15th overall. Glenn Wilson and Hannah Curry are 2nd in the two-wheel drive race in 21st overall on their first outing in the RS 2000. Gary Jennings finishes 1 place behind, and on stage 6 he nearly finishes his rally. Watch out, Pamela. Marty Taggart slides into the next spot, whilst Paul Barrett slid right off the leaderboard with early engine problems, but came back to slide his Mark II round the park in proper Group 4 fashion. dog, however, is feeding him the wrong pace notes.
What Desi can do, we can do too, almost. And to prove it, Gary picks up Spirit of the Rally Award. The notes aren't a problem in Kevin Lynch's car, but the Dungiven man tries just a little too hard. Just a bit too much, and the spin drops Kevin to 19th place, as Donny O'Sullivan passes on his way to 17th on his first park visit. Kevin Barrett finishes one place ahead after his bale bashing exercise, but it's been a great exercise for the sponsor. Nigel Warswick will finish in 14th, just 0.3 seconds behind an exuberant Michael Curran. Marty Elliott and Brian Crawford are 12th in the four-wheel drive Meek Corsa. Dickie Curran just misses out in the top 10, but keeps Claire on the straight and narrow.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, I did have a couple of tactical chunders at one stage, but it was fantastic. The whole speed, the motion, and Dickie Curran was fantastic. He really helped me a lot.
Taking that 10th spot, Northern Ireland Group N champions Richard Hogg and Mark Hanna.
Tightens round this next corner. Tighten here.
They've adapted to their new car well.
Brilliant.
Despite this little misjudgment of its width. Ollie O'Donovan has been getting wilder all day, taking 9th despite wrenching his back in the service area. Will Nichols made his trip worthwhile with 8th place. But now McShay really made the spectators' trip to the park worthwhile with 7th and top Group N. Just what could he do in a WRC car? This young Fermanagh man is seriously talented, and he's forsaking the Ulster Rally to continue his campaign in the World Rally Championship.
Thursday I go to Australia, so I think it'd probably be a little bit warmer than that and a little bit more dusty, but I'm really looking forward to it. You know, we've only 2 rallies left in Australia and Corsica, so it should be good fun.
It wasn't just good fun, but a great 3rd place in Australia, and he came home to take his car to victory in the Lakeland stages.
Trevor Moore has been fighting back all day after his earlier excursion, and at one point he was within 3 seconds of 5th place, Glen Allen. It's the BA Components car that will be the best of the escorts in an effort that requires every inch of the road and all of Glen Allen's concentration. Patrick Snides is still great to watch as he gives Willie McKee a great display of car control. It's hard to imagine a 99 car being driven with greater verve, and 4th place is a small reward for a winner like Patrick in the HP Subaru. 3rd place is just reward for an excellent drive by Dennis Biggerstaff and his mechanic Robin McCandless, keeping the 6R4 alive in the WRC era. 2nd place to the king of the park is almost a win for Eugene Donnelly, who brings his much older WRC Subaru home just 4 seconds behind the Banbridge man after a very neat drive on slippery stages. Even better news this week is that Eugene has just clinched the Northern Ireland Rally Championship on the Lakeland stages. On his way to unique record is Kenny McKinstry, who has paced the afternoon stages to perfection to score his 10th park victory. 20 years ago, he scored his first in the Mark II Escort, repeating the success 2 years later. He had a further 2 wins in his 4x4 G3 Escort in 1987 and 1988, before moving into a great legacy, giving him wins in 92, 93, 94 and 96 with Pamela Ballantyne in the co-driver's seat. His 9th win was in 2000 and now it's number 10.
It was a great battle today.
Yeah, it was very, very good. It was very slippy as well. I mean, the rain and the slippiness of the park, and we didn't start off, I suppose, that quick really. We just started to get better and better. And once we got ahead, it was a matter of trying to stay ahead. It's a question of not making the mistakes.
The final shower of the weekend presents only a minor problem for Kenny. Great drives too for Eugene Donnelly and Dennis Biggerstaff in a fantastic third.